before you say goodbye.
Oh, hold on. Just as we're about to go live, Mike, will you take your camera out of your fucking underpants? And take your reverb. Take your headphones off.
I need to get
Stick him in the ball boys corner for being late.
Now. There we go.
No,
we have an echo.
Echo, Mike.
I have no echo. There's my headphones are off.
My
headphones aren't on.
It's a great fucking start.
No.
But I turn them on.
No.
Let me turn the headphones on. Well, they're not on.
There we go. It's also on.
No, you fucking ruined the whole thing, Mike.
Oh, bail me out.
Came late and then you fucking...
Let me turn the headphones on.
Here, let me just...
Okay.
No.
This is a comedy of errors already.
Well, is it okay now?
No.
Hello? No, it's not my
Hello? 5, 4, 3,
Right.
1.
Shut me out and I'll try and rejoin.
Okay, kick him out.
Kick him out.
No.
Right, folks, after that fucking disastrous start with reverb, Mr. Mike Reedy, a very warm welcome to Wednesday's half-8 show of Mauls, Balls and Alls. Look, it's technology. This stuff happens. We can't help it sometimes, but look, there you go. Before we start, a big shout out to Sabina Moylan, who was due to join us on tonight's show. Sabina was a previous guest. She's a rugby referee, rugby correspondent, and she's a very knowledgeable woman. But unfortunately for Sabina, she went to the Munster game last week. She got soaked and she lost her voice, which is kind of a prerequisite for being on the show. Sabina, we'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself. Get some Lemsip and hot whiskey into you. And we'll see you towards the end of the month, I believe. So, but thank you. All right. Cheers, Sabina. Right. So joining me at the moment is Matt Boland. Welcome back, old bean.
Well, what's the crack?
Good. Claire Devney and Dara Weston, the cigar aficionado. How the hell are you all? Oh, God, here's fucking Rudy again. Sorry, before I bring him in, are you all well in yourselves?
Yeah, I'll go.
Excellent. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this again. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Now there's no picture.
Mike, will you put your fucking camera on? See, this is what you're dealing with when you have old age pensioners.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You get yourself cancelled. That's ageism.
No, remove from the stage. There you go. Right. Anyway, folks, let's talk about the most recent thing that just happened recently over. Who was watching the emerging Ireland game?
I was.
Right, go on, Matt. You had your hand up first. Tell us, what did you think?
Yeah, look, I mean, it was a great game. I tell you something. Them the emerging Ireland lads, they've never once taken their foot off the throttle. Even when they go behind, they just keep going and going and going. And it's a credit to them. Like watching the under-20s before, and some of the lads that were on the under-20s there last season, like Ben O'Connor, Evan, that big lad, Evan. Jesus, he's some fucking unit. Hugh Gavin, another great performance in the centre with.
Player of the match.
Yeah, bloody, absolutely brilliant. Sam Prendergast was also good. It was actually very hard to pick the man of the match in that performance, and the commentators were actually alluding to that at the end. It was very, very hard to make the decision. So look, it was a great game. They went behind several times and just came back into it, not a bother, and sealed it out. You could see at the end the Cheetahs were out on their feet, but the lads just kept going and got the result that they wanted, and they're 3 from 3 again. So super.
Yeah, there's I would I presume that's Mike Reedy.
You spelled Mike Reedy wrong.
Mike, will you turn on your fucking camera for Christ's sake? Here, I'm removing you again. Try again. Go away. Right.
Why do I look like I'm in an evil gear with the guys? Yeah, no, it was great. The one thing I took from that game in the commentary, there was a fella from in the Toyota Cheetahs that played for the South African team in 2002. He played for one of the South African teams before some of them players on the pitch were even born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was old enough to be their dad. Some of them.
I didn't see the game now, so I can't comment. I'm relying on what you're telling me.
Yeah, no, very good, very good game. But I'll tell you one thing: the stadium, I'd say there was like 100 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Know what I mean? It's they're not getting their games, and it's not noticeable in the URC as well. They're not. They're not.
That's a topic, Claire. For
sorry.
In a short. No.
No, it was a very good game, and I have to say the stream that Irish Rugby Plus put on was very good.
Yeah,
it was a very good stream. There was I think mine was buffered once, and I was cast into a TV and all, so it was actually very, very good compared to some of the other streams I've watched from Leinster and in pre-season and Bristol Bears in pre-season and stuff. The stream was very good. Well done.
All right. Oh, sorry. Kick Mike Reedy from the studio. Yes, please. Hold on. Ban from studio. No, I don't want to do that now. No, I don't know what fucking stream you're sending to. Anyway, Dara, before I get to you, just a couple of questions or a couple of comments coming in. Danny Brosnan, fuck's sake, Burke, not my problem. Danny, not my problem.
Not this time.
Gregor Galway, I saw her doing her research. I think, yes, because now Dara's gone. Jesus Christ, it's a fucking comedy.
What is happening?
What is going on?
Why do I look like I'm in an evil lair with the camera? Okay, it's the light.
I don't know what you're doing.
It's the light or something.
Oh,
here we go now.
Brilliant.
Okay, I'm gonna try and something out the light here.
Remove from stage. Rejoin. Get your fucking Wi-Fi sorted. So anyway, the comments. Fuck's sake, Burke. Gregor Galway. I saw her doing research. That is in reference to Sabina.
Yeah.
Because she posted on her Instagram page that she was doing her research looking at the Munster game, or there was another game. Rian says Alex Soroka was impressive. Hold on, Dara's back.
When he came on,
can we all just stop dropping out, please?
He had a massive impact when he came on, Soroka. So yeah, he's
going to try within a few minutes, didn't he?
He's a big lad, all right. Yeah, Gregor Galway. I thought Murphy looked good. There's Gregor's comment there. Catherine Keegan, Catherine, evening, gents, and Claire.
Hi, Catherine.
Mike, you still, Mike, I can see you waiting to come in, but you still haven't got your camera on. So will you turn your camera on, please? I'm not letting you in.
If your name's not down, you're not coming in. Not
Mike,
tonight, folks. Not tonight.
Mike, your missus sorted your camera the last time, so will you please just get your missus, if she's there, to sort out your camera? You're blank. It's a blank screen. Stop. Jesus sake. Right, Dara Weston, did you see the Emerging Ireland game that finished there not so long ago?
I didn't. I was working, so I was just following the. I was just following text updates on it.
All right.
On one of the websites, so I didn't see the action, unfortunately.
All right. Okay. All right. Now, why don't we just stick with the games that happened last weekend? We just get these out of the way because normally they happen at the end and we're rushed and we don't get to talk about them and all the sorts of. So, Dara, let me see. Let's take the games in the order that they happened. We had Scarlets 23, Connacht 24. I was in and out of this game. I saw bits and pieces. I was doing other stuff, but it was a good game. Mike, seriously. Oh, he has his camera on this one. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Drum roll. Wait now. Mike.
Oh.
Let's see.
I was about to launch into the topics, but seeing as you're back in time, what do you think of the Emerging Ireland team squad game that was just on? That didn't end, that ended there just half an hour ago. Where it was.
I thought we were very, very good, to be honest with you. I thought we were poor. Our line-out maul was poor. We kept butchering. We could have won the game comfortably, but we met hard work with it in the end.
Actually, sorry to just butt in there, Mike. Right, you've made a very valid point, and one thing that actually did infuriate me in the line-out, the Cheetahs kept throwing it short. but the Irish lads didn't learn. They just
No.
kept and allow it to happen. It was like 5 times I think they threw it short to the same fella, and they weren't man marking at the start at the top of near the thrower. Like it was mad. I didn't understand that.
Did you see they were also warned as well for having 2 lines, and they were warned and they were warned and they were warned, and they kept doing it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know we played quite well. I watched it in silence. There was no sound on the channel for some reason.
You probably didn't have your fucking mic on per usual.
No, it wasn't. Super Sport Rugby had no sound on.
I don't have this IRFU connection. I probably could fucking do it if I was technically minded, but I'm not. I turn the telly on, it doesn't work. I'm fucked basically.
You struggle to turn on a fucking calculator, Mike. Come on.
I don't have one of them. I can count.
He has an abacus.
Anyway, the Emerging Ireland game, Mike.
Yeah.
Go on. What else about it?
Some outstanding performance.
Or sorry.
That Hugh Gavin has a serious future, by the way. He is.
Yeah.
He is a player, that boy. That full back Ben O'Connor was brilliant. Culhane at 8 was absolutely outstanding. I don't know who got player of the match because I had no sound.
Hugh Gavin.
Gavin, outstanding. I actually think Sam Prendergast is the best player I've ever seen to kick a ball over his hand for a penalty. He pinpoints him into the corner from anywhere. He's unbelievable, by the way.
I saw someone say, Mike, sorry to interrupt you because we've loads to talk about, but I saw someone say that a Dogbo had a great game.
Oh,
yeah. He's some unit, that man. That young fella, like he's a unit.
He's a barreler as well.
He's like a fridge with legs running at you.
There's the future's bright, I think.
Yeah. Okay. James Grennan, our friend from. Sorry, Matt. 1 second. James Grennan, our friend and colleague here, who will be back on screen soon, folks. So you can join.
When you get down,
you can enjoy his wit and his dad jokes.
Oh, do we have to? Can we not leave him? Can we not leave him in the back?
James Grennan, evening all. How are you, James? Good to have you with us. Rian, do we think Frawley will start on Saturday? We'll get to that, Rian. 1 sec. Joe Lyons, just tuned in and had to wait 3.5 seconds before hearing Mike drop a net bomb. But that's what he's known for. That's Mike, so, fuck it. So what? Hugh Gavin, a Wegians man. He is indeed.
Isn't he? He is pretty fucking huge.
Hugh Gavin is so damn good.
Just picking the
This game was cheated. Mike, will you stop when I'm reading out things, please? Now, you always do this. Now, come on, behave. Cheetah showing some of the young lads, some dark arts lads. We have learned a lot from this experience. Yes, I would totally agree.
Yeah.
One, sorry, Mike, you were about to say.
I was about to say something.
Oh, sorry, Matt. Whoever.
No, it's just you said you made a point there that the future looks bright, and actually the 2 South African commentators on the match said the very same thing, that it's very good to watch this Ireland squad and what they have coming up in the future. He said basically exactly the same thing. So we are in a very good place at the moment. So it's good to see that.
Yeah, good. And Matt, that is actually one of the member questions that's coming up later, who is slightly critical of that, and I'll draw your attention to it when we come to it. Mike, sorry, will you finish your point, Mike? Were you going to say something?
Yeah.
You were okay. Right, Dara, back to you. Scarlets 23, Connacht 24. Tight game, that, Dara.
Yeah, another great comeback by Connacht. The threat of letting Grennan into the dressing room worked again. So, very strong. It's whatever Connacht are doing, there's something in the water they're giving them at halftime. And they're having amazing second half performances.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's a streak starting here now.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, if they lost the Scarlets, it would have been a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a bit. Yeah. I can't think of the proper word, but it would have been a bit. Yeah.
Right. So, is that your comment on the game, Claire?
That's my comment on the game. I actually was watching. I actually was watching it, but they were kind of lucky to get. They were kind of lucky at the end to get the win. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It was a kick. It was call forward.
It was a kick. It was a corner kick. It was a kick. It was a kick.
Yeah.
Penalty.
All right.
Penalty.
Okay, Matt Boland, did you see that game?
Didn't see it.
Yeah, didn't see it. Okay, Mike Reedy, did you see that game?
I did indeed, yeah. I thought Connacht played all right, by the way, to be honest with you. It's like what the lads said, they did leave it a bit late again, a bit of a comeback, but they did well, it's not easy to go away from home, and come back with a result. I think that Ione, by the way, has been a great signing for him. I think he's
totally agree.
Yeah, and I know Jack Carty played that fly half for him, and do you know something? He kicked better than I've ever seen him kick. He pinpointed all his goal kicks, so it was a bit of an unusual entity for him. But they were all right. They were okay. They got the result, and that's what they were there for.
All right.
But Ben Murphy is a find and all.
Yeah. Dara Weston, sorry, did I ask you? Sorry, I'm losing.
You did.
I did. Okay,
You did.
Grant.
Started with me.
All right, Matt. Bulls 47. Moving on. Bulls 47. Ulster 21. This was always going to be a tough task for Ulster down there.
Yeah, well, look, I didn't see that one either, so there's no point in making.
Right, grand job. Okay, Dara Weston, that particular game, did you see that?
I saw highlights of it, and to be honest, there wasn't much highlights from the Ulster side of things. But look, see how they get on now. They're home.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Yes, absolutely. Mike Reedy.
I think everybody's got their fingers crossed that Richie Murphy can turn things around there. And
I think it kind of more or less went the way we expected it to go. But Ulster were poor, to be honest. They were poor. Do you know something? Stockdale probably had his best game in any short for.
I saw a clip. Yeah.
He scored an absolute brilliant try.
Yeah.
He played quite well for the game, but I'm afraid young Doak isn't doing it for me. He's not doing it as a scrum half. I don't think it's going to happen for him.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So go on, Mike.
No, I think they did all right. They got 3 tries, but it wasn't enough. It was nowhere near enough.
All right. Okay, Claire. Excuse me.
Yeah. Reading in the years, I was thinking. Jacob was reading in the years. He rolled back the clock for his try. He was actually very, very good. It's probably the best out of most of them that I was saying. They were just better. You know what I mean? They were just better. So let's hope that, or the Bulls were just better. Let's hope that when Ulster come home, they start kicking into gear and start winning.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Matt, back to you. Benetton 5, Leinster 35. Yeah.
Look, it was when I saw the team sheet, I was like, Jesus Christ, Leinster aren't holding back here at all.
Yes.
I expected a comfortable win. Now it was a comfortable win, to be fair to Leinster, but they didn't really turn up in the second half. I think they had the game won in the first half, bonus point fairly early. So it was good to see Snyman getting through a game. Unlike his debut for Munster, where he went off after 2 minutes and didn't come back for about 18 months.
Someone said he played more minutes for Leinster now than he has for the All Munster last season.
Doesn't surprise me. But that happened before. Do you remember Jason Jenkins was a Munster man for ages, and then he came to Leinster and he played nearly all the time. So
I don't, no doubt he's probably, is that something that needs to be talked about, Munster and how they're injuring their players all the time?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's probably the strength and conditioning coaches and the medical team. They probably go to some hedge school universities trying to study their stuff. Whereas in Leinster, we have proper schools and education facilities up here.
Yeah.
It's probably that,
Other than that, though, it was a good game. It was a good game to watch. And Jake Paul for Benetton was pretty much as good as his boxing. He was pretty useless. So
yeah, well, there you go. Dara Weston, what did you think of that? Thanks, Matt.
Like Matt said, there was essentially 15 minutes of really good action in the first half, between the 10th minute when we got the penalty try and the 25th minute when we got the bonus try. And then things just went very boring until about the 60th or 70th minute. So, I like 25 minutes to have the bonus try. I thought here we're going to be 40, 50, 60. And basically we didn't push on. Nothing else happened really on it. We got one more, but
78 minutes.
Let them in for one. So
Yeah.
I was impressed with Frawley. He got a great try. He was good off the tee. But yeah,
yes, Jared, he was moved. He was fucking moved.
Yeah, he was moved.
They wouldn't fucking leave him at 10. They had
they had to move him to 15 because they had
bench.
Yeah,
the 6-2
yeah,
bench.
The 6-2 bench. They had to move him to 15 so that the win. Yeah. And I'm no offense to Ross, but when Ross came on, when Ross went to 10, the tempo dropped, or there was something that it kind of just the psyche of the game changed with Ross at 10.
Yeah,
it was just a completely different mentality when he came on. It was like a switch was turned and they all just shut down. It was very hard to watch.
Yeah, it's like me when I put on a clean pair of underpants. There's a different feel. You know what? Darragh Weston, final thoughts on the game before we move on.
Oh my God! Okay.
Look, it was a win. It was a bonus point, but like I wouldn't be taking much more from it than that.
All right.
You know, other than Ross only covers one position on the bench.
and that's why, Darragh, we had the movement, Frawley and Ross. Yeah, okay. Mike Reedy.
Yeah, I agree with what the lad said. I mean, the game, like Leinster played for 25 minutes and then didn't score until late in the second half. Scored 4 tries in 25 minutes, and it was poor, to be honest with you, parts of it after that. And it was this 100% down to taking Frawley out of 10. He was making things happen, lads. If that doesn't spell out to the Leinster hierarchy the difference of him playing at 10 and not playing at 10 in that game, then I'm sorry, there's something seriously wrong there. Lads, with all due respect to Ross Byrne, he's not good enough, and it's as simple as that. I'm not going to dress it up. He's not good enough to be playing at 10 for Leinster.
Yeah,
young Prendergast has got to be going in there as the backup to Frawley. It's as simple as that.
Prendergast was great. The Prendergast today in the Emerging Organs, very reminiscent of Johnny Sexton.
Well, he's just
with his play and the loops he was doing and the ball handling and all. I was like, yeah, here we go.
He was pinpoint accurate with his boot.
Yeah, and his kicks too, like within a millimeter of where they're meant to be going.
Any kick down the line he had today, he got literally the most he possibly could out of it.
I think he's. I have to be honest with you.
And you're spot on. You're spot on, Mike. I think, in all with respect to Ross Byrne, like he has been a good contributor for Leinster for years, but I think he's just done now, and I think Frawley needs to take the helm now and solidify that fucking fly half position, and Prendergast needs to be right in there behind him.
The bench needs to be.
I tell you what, now, gentlemen, between the lot of yous, there's no fucking splinters in the fucking hole here getting off that fence about the Ross Byrne.
I wouldn't say Ross is dumb. I think now he served. He scored 1,000 points as backup to Sexton. Albeit last couple of years Sexton was only playing maybe a dozen games per season. I'd be wary of having 2 lads in as first and second 10, just of the fact that they're early in their careers. You never know what could happen. They all go through funny moments and dips in form and stuff like that. But I think the thing with Ross is he's not he's been surpassed in starting 10. But I think, like Conor Murray is doing for Munster, he still has a function to serve, although he's better than Murray.
Yeah, but
okay. The last game, we're 25 minutes talking about these games. We've more to talk about. Sorry, gentlemen and ladies. The last game I want to talk about, Matt, I'll come back to you. Canada women 21, Ireland women 8. I watched this. Yeah, a couple of mistakes cost us in rapid space of time on the park. Did you see this?
I didn't actually see that, and I was raging because I actually wanted to watch it, but I was unable to watch it.
No worries. Darragh Weston, did you see it?
I saw bits of it. Yeah. I mean, look, it was they were outclassed. You know,
it was always going to be tough, Jarrett. It was always going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, they beat the world champions, but they failed to beat the number one team, the current number one team in Canada. Like Canada were very slick. And you know, I think it was only a couple of days, 3 days, 4 days after the Silver Ferns match, was it, or the Black Ferns, or was there a full week between it? No,
I don't think it was a full week.
I don't think there was a full week.
Yeah,
No,
I think it was 4 or 5 days.
No.
Max.
So I mean, you know, look, I'd say it took an awful lot out of them, that match against the Silver Ferns, or the Black Ferns. Sorry, I keep getting their name wrong. You know, so look, I wouldn't be negative about it. They've still, you know, if they only achieved one thing out of the women's XV1, beating the Black Ferns is a hell of a thing to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you there. Yeah, absolutely. Mike Reedy, that particular game.
Yeah, I watched. I was disappointed, to be honest with you. I don't think. Do you know something? I don't think they were outclassed, to be honest with you. I think we made a couple of stupid mistakes. Mishandled 2 high balls. The fly half did, and gave them 2 running tries. Plus, they got a what you call try, penalty try. Now, deserved a penalty try. It was poor Maul defending, but I thought we played all right. We did some daft stuff, you know. Lineouts. I can't understand what this lineout's all about. You all step out and then step in and do a bit of shuffling about, and we fucking fumble the line out, and it's, you know, it's frustrating to watch at times. But lads, the difference between our women now and what they were a year ago is phenomenal. That's what I think. And
did you see Mike? Did you see Greg McWilliams' comment on the post? He's the ex international women's coach. He was on the show before, but he posted a very good comment about the women's game. Fair play to him. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Claire Devaney, that particular game, what did you think? Claire?
I think you better turn on your mic, Claire.
We lost her sound.
Your mic is gone, Claire.
There we go. Sorry, is it back now?
Yeah. You go on.
I will say, I actually didn't see that game, but
right.
coming off the loss, or coming off the win to the Black Ferns, I'd say they put their heart and soul into the Black Ferns match. Because that was, all of us admit, we never thought they were going to do that against the Black Ferns. And after seeing Oregon play England in Twickenham when they got like absolutely annihilated, to come back to beat the Black Ferns is unbelievable. So, I didn't see the Camden match, so I can't comment on how they played. I know there was a card, and for a rough 15-20 minutes that there was a couple of issues. So, but well done. They're coming back.
Yeah, true. Okay. Before we move on to our first topic after the games, just a few comments coming in from people watching. Rain, how did the front row perform on tour, as we are short of loose heads especially, but need more props of the quality of Furlong and Porter in the loose?
Oh, speaking of that, McCarthy getting a call back from the Emerging Ireland squad. That's
right, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right. Rain again, Stockdale doesn't come off his wing enough unless he comes looking for work more. He won't break into Ireland squad again. Lowe and Hansen are more active.
Good, to be honest.
Yeah. Look, Stockdale had his time, but Stockdale's.
I think Usanov, by the way, as a loose head, looks like he's only a young boy. He looks like he could be a useful player.
I heard he's not an AK camp on him for go for trade. No, he's got.
Hey, that's a funny joke, James. Fair play to you.
Yeah. It's not because he's in for
fucking Grennan, here we fucking go. Jesus.
Granddad jokes.
Yeah, Grennan, folks. Grennan will be back on soon, probably on one of our Monday night shows. He'll be back on, so prepare yourselves. Oh yeah, sorry, by the way, if you haven't noticed it, we're changing in November. There'll be a Monday night weekend review show, and then this show would move to Thursday. Right?
Basically, we need more time to talk, Shy.
Exactly.
We can't squeeze it into an hour anymore.
Exactly.
No,
Gregor Galway, Reen,
Michael O'Cleary.
Yeah, well, that was good. I didn't know Reen was playing. Fraudy kicking was so chilled.
Very GA name.
It is.
How did he get in?
I don't know. Reading again. The double pump pass and the delay of Prendergast is like Crowley, and Ross doesn't have that in his locker. Ross plays too deep. I would totally agree with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Mike Sheedy, how are you, Mike? Good Munster man. Last week I said Munster win round 3 URC. This Saturday, Munster v Leinster will win by 7 in round 4 URC. Few young guns and all players missing. Mike, keep drinking your cans there. Keep drinking your cans. James Grennan, well, if you don't want Sam at 10 in Leinster, he can always come and join his brother in Connacht. Yeah, maybe so. Joe Lawrence, the line-out was a complete clusterfuck. Canada are a serious outfit, but Ireland did themselves no favours with handling errors and final execution.
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine Keegan. Hey, Catherine. Ill-disciplined first half cost the girls versus Canada. Yeah, probably right, Catherine. Gregor Galway, I will watch women's rugby on Friday night. Good man, Gregor. Okay, now that's the game's over. After fucking half an hour.
Is it?
Did you expect
the first? No, I didn't. The first topic.
Are you not going to talk about the game on the plastic pitch down in Cork?
Can we see how many times we can interrupt Peter Burke?
I can do that all the time, every second, every minute, every second, every day. Yeah. All right, Peter, go.
What game on the plastic pitch? What are you talking about? What game?
Munster game.
Munster. You didn't mention the Munster game.
Oh, sorry. For fuck's sake. Yeah, we have to.
You're alienating half the audience. The countries will come out.
Right. Munster 23, Ospreys 0. Also, Munster needed a fucking comeback because they were shite against Zebra. But as I said, the criticism was way over the top of Munster. They came back, they beat Ospreys. Big fucking whoop. Matt Boland.
And they injured more people.
They did. Matt Boland, take it. Go.
Well, I didn't see the game, but I didn't see enough of it to make a valid contribution. I just saw.
Perfect. Okay, Dara Weston. No, because we're just time-wise.
100%.
Dara Weston, come on.
You're never going to get it.
Oh my God, Claire! For fuck's sake, you stop. Jesus Christ, Dara Weston.
Just ask Reedy. Just ask Reedy. Go on.
Just ask Reedy. Moving on.
I watched all the game.
Oh, don't, geez, I'm sure you did, Mike. I'm sure you did, and you did your washing and your dishwasher and everything. I'm sure you did. Dara Weston, did you see the Munster match?
I did. It was so. Yeah, look, it was shite weather. It wasn't that great a game. The opposition weren't that great. Plastic pitch. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I didn't see anything that would worry me for this weekend.
Not at all. No. Mike Reedy, go on.
Well, I thought Munster did okay, to be honest with you, in absolutely.
Brilliant, great point. Claire Debney.
In fairness, fair play to them for playing it, because that fucking weather was worse than the sports ground.
What's your
okay?
And again, the injuries. All I'm going to say is the injuries. Well, I missed the O'Mahony up and off, so I don't know what happened. They just keep injuring the players, and he's gone. Bye, Peter.
Here's one for you, by the way. I think Croke Park is actually more of a home advantage to Munster than Leinster.
Well, it probably is because it's owned by the GAA, but sure, look.
Apparently, there's 31,000 Munster tickets have been sold.
Croke Park over history than Leinster.
Yeah, but how many of them are living in Dublin?
They'll be
there. Can we? Okay, can we?
You can fill the 4 days on your own.
Right, listen, okay, so first topic.
It's how to annoy Peter Burke.
How to annoy Burke, yes, exactly. Keep interrupting. Matt Boland.
Love you.
We, thank you very much. We spoke about this before, but it has since raised its ugly head again. They are trying to change the way they approach it. And this is the URC Premiership merger. So what they have proposed now is two divisions, Division 1 or 2, A, B, whatever way you want to fucking call it. Promotion and relegation to the leagues, obviously. The Welsh want an Anglo-Welsh league because it's more financially beneficial to them because they're basically fucked. Well, it would be for TV viewership.
Well, they save money on travel.
Yeah, and one thing that is one thing. Now I'm just going to read here for everyone. This is the crux of this whole thing, right? This merger. This is where it's all coming from. CVC, the investment group carrier, charlatans, whatever you want to call them, they have a 27% stake in the URC, and they have a 28% stake in the Premiership. Now, I read this on Wales Online. They're a good site. They have been told there could be an extra 4 million TV revenue with a 2-division competition, with Sky Sports said to be interested. But from a Welsh perspective, an Anglo-Welsh conference would be far more beneficial from a commercial perspective. All the discussions are centered around how changing competition structures could potentially drive up the value of the next broadcasting deal at a time when the market has flatlined. Matt, I don't like the idea of a merger between the URC and the Premiership. I just like the Premiership needs it way more than the URC does. Matt, what do you think of this?
Yeah, well, look, I wouldn't be in favour of a merger either, but I can understand where the Premiership are coming from, because they are in a bad place right now with teams already gone. London Irish, Wasps, who's next? There's probably loads of them in financial difficulty, and they're looking for a way to boost revenue and sales, and they'll do it whatever way they can by any means necessary, I'd say, to save the Premiership. I totally get it. For me, the URC is fine. Leave it the way it is. It would probably make more sense for the Welsh to go in with the English into the Premiership and do whatever they want there. That would be probably more beneficial to Wales rather than the Premiership. So I don't think the Premiership would want that. They want the URC because they know how popular it is, you know, and of course it's all about money.
Yeah. And
they need it desperately. So I think it's smart thinking from the Premiership. Will it happen? I don't know. I don't want to see it happen. I think, you know, we have the Champions Cup that has the Premiership and the French team, and that'll stay the same, I would imagine. But that's enough for me. I don't want any more English contribution in the URC.
Okay, and the one thing, sorry, Matt, I meant to mention, the English, the Premiership caveat was no Italian teams, no South African teams.
Right. Okay. In the Premiership.
In this amalgamation. If it
was
ever happening.
Well, just England, Ireland, and Wales.
Well, however, the URC and
Scotland,
yeah,
and Scotland.
And Scotland. Yeah. Dara Weston, this idea, what I've just said, and asked Matt, who gave a good reply or response. What do you think?
So this crowd CVC own 28%, the IRFU own 24%, the Scots and the Welsh own 24% each. The Italians were meant to be getting a share in it in the next year or two, and then I assume the South Africans at some stage. The South Africans brought the BKT sponsorship to it, so they won't get rid of the South Africans in favour of the English. I think Premiership are looking at it and they're going, actually, we could increase audiences and attendances. You know, if we have Irish teams coming over to play, wherever you are in England, there'll always be, you know, Leinster fans, Munster fans nearby. The IRFU won't allow it because if you have a 2-tier system, then you lose the interpros. And the interpros have to be arranged outside of a URC Premiership structure. Because you won't have the teams, and if Connacht are in one division and the other 3 are in the other, then they won't want that. So no, I can't see it happening. I think, it's the Premiership again looking for any kind of a fucking lifeline. They'll team up with American rugby if they have to, or American football.
I agree, Dara. It was just I was reading this today and I couldn't fucking believe it. I thought this was put to bed. Mike Reedy, this whole idea again. They're trying to change it into a 2-division thing.
It's not going away, is it? But it needs to go away, lads, because I think race. If we amalgamate with the Premiership and omit Italian teams, and because where does it stop? They don't want the Welsh either. They can dress it up any way they like. They want the Irish team because they bring. There's nobody going to the Wales games. There's big crowds, South Africans attending games. So I can't see it happening. There's no way we've gone into a competition with like brought South African teams in for 2 seasons and now we're going to dismiss it. It would be absolutely despicable if they allow that to happen. And the same with Italy. I mean, Italian rugby is on the way up, and it's on the way up because their 2 teams now are becoming competitive, and their international side is also. And so that's what are we going to do? Kill Italian rugby for the sake of saving English rugby? Because that's basically what this is coming down to. English rugby is these.
There's a comment there. There's a comment there from Gregor Galway, which kind of sums up what we're all thinking. Go away, Premiership. Sorry, Claire, just 1 sec before I come to you. Go away, Premiership. Catherine Keegan saw earlier would be making a comeback in well, hopefully so. Hopefully so, Catherine. Joe Lyons, CVC, aka Rugby Octopus, has their entrails in all rugby and all levels, be that test club, men's game, women's game. It'll eventually just be like the F1, where they build up the game to inflate their market cap and then dump it. Very good point, Joe, yeah.
They'll sell their investment in rugby to some Middle Eastern crowd like Qatar, and then we'll all be going.
Oh, for fuck's sake, don't mention that. No, don't go away.
Don't, Western, didn't you? Fucking hell.
Don't annoy me anymore. Go on, Claire. This whole thing.
The Premiership are looking for a get out of jail clause. They're looking for a get out of jail card. I mean, that's what they are. And then there's just about Welsh rugby as well. I seen the WRU offered the 4 Welsh teams money or to take some of their debts down, and then to take a 20% stake in each of the teams.
All right, didn't see that.
Yeah, seeing that earlier on. It's basically the Premiership are losing money hand over fist. I don't think there's any of the teams that would be, if you look at their balance sheets and their stuff with the accountant head on me, none of they would be very, very close. Golden would be very, very close to being insolvent and going to the wall. So the Premiership are looking get out of jail card, bail us out here. And as you said, the Irish fans do travel. The Irish fans travel, so they're kind of looking for that as well. And as Dara said, CVC, if CVC do what they've done before, which was buy, sell, Qatar in the Middle East will be a...
Yeah. I don't know if you saw there was a report a couple of weeks ago, and James Haskell wrote the introduction to it. And it was an independent report. The Premiership and the RFU weren't involved. And they went through all the Premiership clubs, and I think 8 out of the 12 of them were technically insolvent.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right, folks, here we go. Members' questions time. Let's just go through a few of these quickly.
Are we doing a new kind of agony uncle section, agony aunt?
Yeah, I think it's good because just more involvement.
Talk
Get
to
the cream and don't scratch it.
Oh, Jesus, I tell you, it's like fucking trying to teach a fucking kindergarten fucking class here. We just fucking stop. Relax the fuck. Right?
Listen, if you want some authority, put the glasses back on. We saw them making an appearance earlier.
No, I do put them back on. No, I wear them normally but the glare fucking annoys me because I can see the fucking.
Graham, we can't see the porn.
I need a fucking stick. I need a stick. I need a ruler or a fucking stick. Anyway, Matt Boland. The first one to you, our fellow colleague Tim Kirkpatrick. We all know. He asked, "Are Ulster rebuilding again, or are we back to being a basket case?" I don't know why he's asking.
I think they're still in the rebuilding phase. Richard Murphy needs a bit of time to. He's already proved himself towards the end of the last season. I wouldn't be throwing all the eggs out of the basket just yet because it's a work in progress. They have made some inroads already. Richie Murphy turned them around at the end of last season.
Yeah,
a couple of bad results this year. I fully believe Richie's going to do something with Ulster, and I really hope they do because Ulster were a cracking team years ago. It's very tough to go up north to play them and get a result. It was very hard, and I'd love to see them getting back in again.
I think he's going in the right direction, Matt.
100%.
I think he is. Dara Weston, one for you. Our own fella, Danny Brosnan.
Oh
asked a
God,
question.
Strap in.
He said, seriously, is the Premiership, and we just touched on this, we were just talking about it. He asks, is the Premiership living on borrowed time?
It's living on borrowed money, and that's the fucking problem. They're also in debt because they're paying spoofers $1 million a season.
Are they?
So, yeah, I think they've lost the run themselves.
Straight out of Peter Burke fucking manual, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just to back up Matt's point, Richie Murphy has only been in charge of Ulster for 12 games.
Yeah.
So there's you haven't seen any turnaround yet. They're only halfway through the 3-point turn, like.
Yeah. Okay. So. Mike Reedy, your turn. This is asked from. He's a good member. I'm going to butcher his name here. Helien Borel. I think he's French.
Yeah, he is French.
He is French. Okay. Mike Reedy. He asks, does the signing of Rabah Slimani, is this the start of a French-Irish connection?
Is this a question you really want to ask me now?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yeah.
Come
on, Nigel Farage. Come on.
You fucking picked that one well anyway, didn't you, boy?
I know. On purpose. Go on.
Well, if going by Rabah Slimani alone, then no, because I think he's going to be an absolute. Being honest, I think he's. I think
he's a great signing. I think he's
brilliant.
I met the man. He's a fucking chunk.
But he's old. He can't play rugby anymore. He's done.
He's a year in, and for fuck's sake, you could say the same about fucking Snyman.
Mike, some of the most successful mercenaries we've had in this country have been deemed as washed up. Doug Howlett, Issa, they've been seen as kind of over the hill. They've come over here. Rocky Elson, Nathan Hines.
Yeah.
We need experienced props in Leinster at the moment.
Okay, Claire Devney, your turn.
Okay.
This was from our member Michelle McLaughlin. Michelle asks, why are the women's contracts, although great to have, so not sustainable to having to reside in Dublin?
The women contracts are not sustainable to having to reside anywhere in Ireland, because I've seen one or two of the contracts and what they were offered.
Okay.
Basically, it's the IRFU coming from behind. If you compare it to the contracts that New Zealand have, French, the English, if you compare them to the contracts they have, and some of the jobs that the girls are coming from, and their wage, and to drop to something that's technically below minimum wage if you look at their contracts.
I think it's.
Did I get that question because I'm a woman?
I think it's more making a point.
No. I'm just randomly. The only person I purposely picked out for a question there was Mike's.
Yeah. Sorry, Matt. You were going to say something there, Matt.
It's important to understand that, like, the Irish women's professional team were only made professional very recently, and we're probably 18 months ago. They have to start off somewhere. It'll only get better from there, albeit it might not be great contracts for some of the girls and they're still having to work another job. But if you look back in the late 80s when professional rugby only turned professional, I'm pretty sure they were kind of similar money back then. And, it only just got bigger and better. So it's a starting point. It's good that they're getting professional contracts. It'll only get better for them.
Yeah, no, it will. And as long as, and this is my caveat on it, as long as they keep investing in girls rugby, in young girls rugby, because if they don't invest in girls rugby, and I'm just going to give it a comparison to the FAI at the moment. The FAI have fucked up with 400 girls teams. They can't play matches because they're idiots.
I can tell you now for a fact, right? In grassroots women's rugby, normally when girls teams didn't have enough to field, they just cancelled the teams. But what they're doing is they're merging teams, 2 or 3 teams together to keep teams going.
Yeah, I see that.
again, it'll only get better, but it starts from the grassroots up. But the
Yeah.
processes and the ideas are there and they're being built on, so it'll only get better.
Two last questions. Sorry, go on, Claire.
I was just going to say, as a point of that was my own team last year. We sat in August, not August gone, the August before that, with 6 people thinking we were going to have to fold. Now, in fairness, I will give it to the coach and the ladies on the team. They drove on. We now have a squad of 25. So compared to 6 a year ago to 25 this year, and we're still getting people coming in, but that's through sheer hard work of my coach and the girls on their team. But there needs to be more investment in girls. Like we had a young girls team that they did break up. Now they're playing elsewhere, but it was very, very hard to keep the young girls together. And it is, but they have to invest and they have to, like, an awful lot of girls think rugby is a man's sport and it's not, and they have to go over that thing. And that's why I say on women's rugby. Sorry, bye.
That's all right. No. Okay, quickly, two more. I'm not going to. Hold on, Dara. Hold on. 1 second. I just want to get through these quickly because we've more to cover.
We're not going to. 10 minutes left.
Would you? Jesus.
9.
I'm putting on my glasses. I'm getting strict. Right, there we go. Glasses on. Teacher mode.
Okay,
there you go. And now I can't see me phone. Thanks. John Peters, who has been a guest on the show here before with us, John Peters asks, should the centrally, and I'm just going to throw this out so whoever wants to answer. John Peters asked, should the centrally contracted players be able to have more game time this season? That's always a contentious issue. Anyone give us an answer?
Well, yeah, because it's not a World Cup year.
That's not necessarily true now, Darren.
We have been accused of of some of our players being wrapped up in cotton wool and not playing enough games. So perhaps he's probably.
Yeah, no, Dara, the club games, the century contracted thing kicks in for the club games as well. The players that they have century contracted, they can
around the autumn internationals. Yeah, well, but obviously, like, I mean, if you take. I mean, you'll get centrally contracted players playing September, a bit of October, and then November they're off. But if it's a World Cup, you'll be lucky to see them back by Christmas, and they won't have been there at the start of the season at all.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone else got a comment on John Peters' question? We've one more to go after this. Anyone else? No. Okay, Donal O'Leary. Now, Matt, this is coming back to what you were talking about earlier. Donal O'Leary asked, are Leinster producing professional former leg players from schools up and dismissing flair and natural talent? Matt?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because there's a lot of players that have come in from other angles, not just from the schools. You've got players that have come up through playing for clubs rather than playing for schools. So I don't know if that's entirely true, but in saying that, a lot of the talent does come from the schools because that's where they're feeding from, basically from your big schools like Clongowes or Belvedere or wherever. Do you know what I mean? So there is something in it, but I wouldn't say it's 100% of the cases.
All right. Okay. Dara Weston, any thoughts on that particular question?
Looking at Prendergast and players like that who've come through recently enough from the schools and academies, I wouldn't say there's I wouldn't say there's formulaic kind of boring players being produced. I think most people are envious of the Leinster Academy system. So, I think Grennan was only dying to take Prendergast there if we wanted to get rid of him for a couple of months.
Of course. So
I don't think there's an issue with the young players coming out of Leinster at the moment.
Okay.
All right. In some positions, we don't have them coming out, we don't have enough in some positions. But
yeah, no, that's fair enough. Fair comment. Mike Reedy, any thoughts on that particular point by Donal O'Leary?
The new style that Leinster want to play than the players at their disposal, to be honest with you, because the way they've changed over the last couple of seasons as against what they were playing under what's his name that just went to Racing
Sure, Lancaster.
yeah, Lancaster.
Yeah.
Like the way they played under Lancaster, it's night and day. It's a different brand of rugby, and it's, in my opinion, it's not a brand of rugby that's going to suit Leinster, and it's not going to suit.
But Mike, what about Donald's point that they're producing essentially boring players?
Yeah, but they're not boring players. They're not boring players. They're not boring players when they were playing for Richie Murphy in the 20s team, and when they're playing for Andy Farrell in the Irish team. So it's the way Leinster want to play rugby now with an ENAB system. And I'll be honest with you, lads, I've never been in favour, and I'm not going to pretend I am. And I think it's a wrong fit for Leinster rugby. It's nothing to do with the players coming through. The players are still there. They're good enough. They're good at. See the guys playing for Emerging Ireland. They weren't playing that boring rugby. Playing good rugby to watch. Leinster have decided this. Let's kick the ball. Let's kick the ball the way Munster did for fucking a decade, and it's absolute garbage to watch. Let's not dress it up, and it doesn't work. Irish rugby doesn't. We don't play like that now. We don't play like that since Joe Schmidt kind of changed things around a little bit for Irish rugby. He tried a system and it worked for a while, but we were found out. The kicking game was found out, and we had to adapt. And Andy Farrell has adapted, and Leinster seem to be going back the way. No, it's nothing to do with the quality of the players coming through. They're still producing the best quality players probably in world rugby, if we're honest. The school system, and whether they're coming through the schools, lads, they don't all start out in these schools. If these schools see a player in any club around the country with potential, they're going to get drafted. They're going to get drafted into these schools. They'll get scholarships, basically.
I
would
not
imagine.
really.
Go on, Claire.
Okay, and speaking from someone who's not from a predominantly rugby area and have seen people, it's changing slowly. But the schools, if you're in one of the schools, Clongowes, Belvedere, one of them, and you're playing, compared to being in a club and playing, you've more chance of being spotted in the schools the way it's structured. You do have it now. You do have people coming through from clubs that are not in schools, but they are few and far between. It is changing now, thank God. But I understand where the mentality behind the question came from.
So are we missing out in on players from these clubs, or are these players getting in and going to these schools?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. Yes. There will be, and in the past there would have been players that were good enough to play for the provinces. Well, I can only talk for Leinster. That would have been good enough to play for Leinster because they didn't do the school system. They were kind of missed.
But I think that's evolving.
That's what I'm saying. It is changing now.
Because when I played back in the day, like when I was playing back in the 90s, there was no club teams for the school ages. For JCT and SCT, there was no competing club teams. So basically, you were a member of Clontarf, but you played for your school. And then after you finished your school, you came back to Clontarf. So you had a lot of the team. A lot of the clubs opting out of certain underage divisions and ranges in the men's game.
It's still the same. It's still the same now. If you're cup tie for JCT or SCT, you can't play in your club.
Now, what I will say, and we've just one more thing to discuss after this because we're fast approaching the hour mark. On this particular point, I played rugby in school for De La Salle.
1970s, but anyway, we won't say that.
1960.
I left school in 1989. We were a non-fee paying school, but we won the senior cup twice in 1983 and 1985. So, and we beat Castleknock and we beat Blackrock, I think it was, in those finals. So,
I'm still living off it.
And what? Still living off, yeah. Still living off, yeah. I'm Ross O'Carroll Kelly. No, I wasn't involved now. I wasn't involved in the teams. But it just, like, I don't think that has changed. I think as you said, Claire, and I think it was mentioned elsewhere, there are quality players that are going to schools like that, non-fee paying schools. They don't necessarily. No, sorry. Again, some of the Irish crop who played in the last 5-10 years didn't go to fee-paying schools or private schools, be it Limerick, Cork, Dublin, or whatever. They're just quality athletes, and they play. I don't think Keith Earls went to a private
No, but
school.
I'm speaking predominantly of Leinster. It's completely different. And yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
completely
fair enough,
different
yeah.
in Munster, Connacht,
Okay.
and Ulster. And I've always said that it's completely different in them compared to Leinster. Leinster, it's changing. The Rose tinted glasses are coming off, and it is changing. And it's great to see. And just from some, it's great to see the CROs going into the likes of, like, Liberty Saints were a great team, and they're kind of gone. But Liberty Saints and Guinnesses are now trying to merge for junior teams. Like, one is Crumlin, one is the heart of the inner city. You know what I mean?
Claire, did the CROs go in there? Did the CROs go in there?
The CROs are starting to try and get, and then going into the schools, going into the local schools in the what are called the social economically deprived areas.
Yes.
That's what they're called. It's the likes of, and not I'm from one of them. I'm from Lancaster, like where I live is classed as that. Tallaght, Clondalkin, Finglas, the likes of that. Like, there's a hell of a lot of players. There's a hell of a lot of good players from Finglas.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? And the likes of Ballymun, like they're trying to get in there, and it is good to see it, and just to keep it going, to check in, like, to change, and it's just it seems to be just a Leinster thing. Know what I mean? And I don't know if it's just a Leinster thing that it seems to be. It's seen as it's a
right. There's 11 counties in Leinster.
Yeah.
You were talking
12.
12. Okay, is it 12? Yeah. Anyway,
County Army.
Right. There's more than anywhere else. And what about the players from all the other counties? Where do they go? Do they come through the school system?
Not all of them.
Well, like, you'd get a lot of them go to Clongowes. You get fellas from all over Ireland go to Clongowes. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Okay, folks. The last one, because we are over time, but I wanted to ask.
None of us predicted that ever.
Yes, of course. We've got about 10 minutes left, but I wanted to discuss this. Matt Boland, I'm coming to you first on this. The Leinster v Munster game next weekend in Croke Park.
This weekend.
Or this weekend, or whatever. I always get that mixed up. Next weekend, this weekend. This weekend. All right. Okay. It's sold out. Well, it will be. It looks like it will be sold out. Yeah, according to some people, it's sold out. According to others, there's a few tickets left.
According to Leinster Rugby, it's sold out.
It's sold out. Okay, so that's 82,000 plus tickets, people attending. Now we can have
82,203.
Yeah, there you go. Now, take into account corporates, the prawn sandwiches, the lads and ladies there who are there for a corporate gig and have no fucking interest. But anyway, they're the tickets, the season ticket holders. But still, a fuckload of tickets sold for the game. Now, the GAA can't fill Croke Park. Sorry, they can fill Croke Park. Once or twice a year.
2 matches.
When it's exactly, Darry, yeah. When there's an All-Ireland final on for the football and the stickball, right? Now,
hurling, and when Gareth Brooks comes into Ireland.
And when Gareth Brooks, or for a gig, right? Or for the Mauls, Balls and All live show. Now, yeah, I was looking at this. Currently at the moment, now we had this conversation last week or the week before about when the funding was announced. The GAA got 100 million. We're not going to go back into it. But the top, I read up on Sport Ireland website, the recent report that from number 5 up to 1, sports. Now there is a slight difference here. So on attendance and spectator. But overall, it's golf at 5, athletics at 4, rugby at 3, soccer, Wendy ball at 2, and Gaelic games combined at 1. Matt Boland, I think over the next few years, this is going to change dramatically in rugby's favour, hopefully.
I would imagine so, yeah. You'd see it by the ticket sales for one, like for 2 games that Leinster and Munster have played.
And an early league game, Matt. An early round 4, was it? Round 4, round 3?
That's what I mean.
Round 4.
Like, it's if they were playing there on a regular basis, they'd fill it no problem because they have the fan base there. Now I don't know whether they fill it with if somebody else was coming over to play in a big game, yeah, but not probably a league game. Like if say Ospreys came over, they wouldn't fill it. Do you know what I mean? So, but
Very, very, very filthy RDS when Ospreys come over.
Hold on. Let's not talk over each other. Go on, Matt.
If it was Munster, Connacht, or Ulster, I would imagine I would expect it to be full or nearly full for any of them games because people want to go and see them, and the people that don't have tickets, season tickets, or don't get to go to wherever, be it Musgrave or Thomond or RDS or wherever, they have the opportunity to go then and get a ticket for a bigger stadium like Aviva or Crow Park. Do you know what I mean? So it's great to see that they can sell it out and quickly, fairly quickly. I mean, I think 70 odd tickets sold very quick at the start, and then it was a bit slower towards the end. But for a round 4 of a league game, that's a real fucking kick in the balls for the fucking GAA because they wouldn't be able to fill it for a league game. Do you know what I mean?
Not at all. No, geez, you'd be looking to get
fill it twice a year, 2 finals. Do you know what I mean? So, and years ago, if you look back, like any time Dublin did play in Pro Park, they'd nearly fill it all the time. But there is a massive decline in their fans watching and going to games in the GAA, and if rugby still's going the way it's going, it will overtake, I'd say, the GAA in that top ranking at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Matt. So hold on, just one sec, Claire. Just comments. These comments just flood in all of a sudden. They're blocked and then they all just come in. Rain, Birch is right about having URC finals or Heineken Cup finals in Italy and invest in Italian rugby. More stop playing finals in Wales, UK, or France all the time. Gregor Galway, here we go. Nigel Farage is making a speech. That's aimed at you, Mike. I don't know what. Let me just see here. Gregor Galway, Danny Browse and Money Talks. That's talking about the merger, I'd say. See, these are all late now. They're delayed. I don't know why they're getting delayed. Joe Lyons. Yeah, contracts that are derisory at best. Shocking poor head. They can actually be professional athletes. They can't sustain basic financial constraints. They need to subsidise accommodation, at least if the ladies are to be capable of being competitive. Yes.
Well said, Joe.
Can I just say one thing on
hold
that?
Hold on, Dara, just one second. I just want to get through these. Women's rugby. Women's rugby needs to replicate what tennis did. The men's game is one animal and the ladies' totally different game. Both have their positive, more importantly, both play to their gender strengths. The ladies' game is way more skillful and the men's is a power-based. Rugby should try to, yeah. Fair enough. Sorry, yeah, go on, Dara.
So just on the, I remember bringing this up a couple of months ago. So while the Irish women's contracts are derisory, it is a global issue. Jim Hamilton, his podcast, he had one of the English Roses on. Their central contracts are between 28 and 38 grand a year.
Saw that, yeah.
For the women. So it's a global issue. It's not that, the IRFU are very much the cheapskates or whatever. And that is my only worry, is they all need to seriously up their game. And the other thing that was said on that was then a lot of the Premiership clubs don't pay their women's teams. Harlequins, for instance, don't pay their women's team.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They just get
I didn't know that. I thought they did.
Few pay them.
Sorry, Mike, one.
The RFU pay them. The RFU pay the women in England.
But as Dara said, the Harlequins directly don't pay.
Yeah, but the clubs don't pay their own players. The actual rugby foot.
But the players that aren't centrally contracted, a lot of the English clubs do top up the central contract with a salary. But like certain clubs, like Harlequins, for instance, don't. So,
Okay, so the last point we're on, we're coming to the end. This whole idea of Leinster v Munster filling out Crow Park, where the GAA can't do it. Leinster, Munster, you'd probably they'd probably sell it out 3, 4, 5 times a year if they had it. Anyone?
No,
Yeah,
it
you
up.
would.
They,
Yeah, you would.
they wouldn't. They'll sell it out twice a year.
Yeah.
Okay, so Leinster are lucky in that we had the Northampton game in May and we have the Munster game, and according to a snippet from Off the Ball, Leinster will have sold 160 odd thousand tickets between the two matches. The Dubs, for their entire 2024 season, didn't sell that many tickets.
Yeah,
playing in Croker. But rugby will never overtake GAA purely because of the infrastructure. The GAA has nearly 3,000 clubs. It has county teams, and we only have provincial teams. We have like a tenth. We have a fraction of the clubs. We have like a tenth of the clubs, maybe 300 rugby clubs in Ireland. We have one team for 12 counties, and then another team for 8 counties, and another team for 6 counties. And
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're never going to overtake them in terms of attendance.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. Well,
I don't think we should be delving into that, to be perfectly honest with you, because it's
why
completely
not?
different. Because the GAA is amateur for starters, and it's they have several clubs, like Dara just said. There's 50 clubs playing in each county every week, like all with attendances going to all the games. So it's a completely different thing. And
sure, do you have the AIL playing every fucking week, Mike?
yeah,
and you have all the gigs playing.
Still only of teams. There's one team in North Tipperary, like Nina. There's fucking 50 GAA teams in North Tipperary. So, like, it's
fair enough. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I get. Yeah.
But the other thing is, should Leinster be playing in Croker? Because we're losing a lot of ticket income by not playing in the Aviva. A lot of that we're giving a lot of ticket money away to the GAA.
Where are you going to play them? Where are you going to play them, Dara? In fucking Tala?
No, play it in the Aviva, where the money goes
No,
into the Irish
it's already booked
and
out.
then goes back into rugby. We're selling out Croke Park to benefit GAA clubs around the country.
I think they're mainly to accommodate the number of fans. When you're able to like provide for 80,000 as against providing for 50,000, why not do it? It's once a year.
Yeah, exactly. Claire, go on.
Yeah.
No,
hold on. No, we're way over time, folks. Claire, go on. I want to hear your opinion.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Grant, it's okay. All right.
Okay, give us your opinion on this if you want.
No, it's okay. No, just it's. I don't know why they're probably putting in Croker because they. I know last year they put in Croker because there was something on in the Aviva. I don't think there's that on the Aviva this weekend, is there?
I'm
No,
going
the
to
Wendy
toilet.
Ball are playing over in Finland.
I'm going to the toilet in the Aviva next week.
No.
You've been warned about that before.
Okay, hold on. David O'Shioda. I disagree, God. GAA will always be the number one attendance. The only reason is because it's Croker. I haven't seen a sold out Thomond in a long, long time. Now,
and Dave Sheedy is a regular attendee to Thomond.
Yeah, and I would just to comment on that. I seen somewhere today that apparently Munster fans have bought 32,000 tickets for that game. So that's what that leaves against over 50,000. 32,000 tickets, and you can't sell out Thomond is, as someone said, is a fair weather fans that are going to this just to say they were there.
Probably.
Well, no, I'd say there's probably about 20,000 fans that are living in Dublin, like my wife.
It probably is.
Are you going with your wife, Dara? Dara, are you going?
No, she's going with her own group, and I'm going with my own group.
Oh, a wise decision.
Dara, what pub are we meeting in?
I don't know, whichever pub. We're going into Jones's Roadside. We're in the Hogan stand, I think it is. So,
I actually haven't even checked what inside I'm going.
I'll let you discuss this.
Yeah, because there's no bars in Croker.
Yeah.
Is there not?
True game. Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, sorry, there's no the bars. I think open at halftime.
Yes, and you're not allowed to bring alcohol to your seats. And you're not allowed to bring alcohol to your seats.
That's absolutely
as good as being in Doha, basically.
Matt Boland.
Has he frozen?
He has frozen.
This might be doing jazz hands.
Fucked himself up.
Yes, hands.
He's gone on.
He's gone though. Does anybody know what he was going to say or what was on his?
I don't know. I think he's probably going to say goodbye because we're at
Is he
1 hour
just gonna
15
wrap it up?
minutes.
We'll
I
just wrap
think
it
he
up.
probably wants to know about spice bags like Croker.
Oh,
Would Dawson
yeah,
or
no,
Dorset
there's
Street be
not-
the best place for
There's
that?
no
Okay.
there's no spice bags in Croker, but there is a couple of places around Croker that do them.
And
I
he
mean-
gave it to Mike Reedy earlier on, and he's after going and doing it himself.
I know, yeah. He's just...
Oh.
Right,
Right, lads. Good night and God bless.
good night, God bless. And we don't know what's going to happen because he's after freezing, so this could go. He's gone now. We're okay.
Right.
Bye. Right.
I'm off anyway.
Thanks,
So I'll see you
thanks
next week.
everyone. See you next week.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
bye, bye.
See you all.
Thanks everybody for watching. Good luck. Bye. Bye, lads.
See you later, lads. Thanks, everybody.